Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining me every evening for news updates and chats with guest speakers. Thank you for your useful comments and suggestions. If you enjoy our videos, please press the bell icon and share. Please subscribe if you have not. It helps us to get the truth to more people in the world. That India is with PM Modi in this fight against COVID-19 is very clear from what we see on social media. My request to people on social media uh, garnered a lot of interest. I quote, I would request everyone at this point to support our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. There is a massive paid campaign to attack him. He has done more than his share for the people during this pandemic and before. Today, countries are helping us because of him. He helped them. The request received 1,22,496 impressions on Twitter, which is really good, and many responses from you friends as well in YouTube. Thank you. Let us show solidarity with our selfless Prime Minister. This anti-Modi wave is a targeted campaign to weaken India. We must fight this together, friends, with all our power. Do not sell India to our enemies within or outside India. The first piece of news is that this well-known media has done it again. Guess who? Times of India. Times of India passes off an anti-Modi paid article as a news item and removes the story when this is pointed out. The propaganda ad was published like a news item to fool people. The article was authored by Devlina Chakravarti, who went on a rant against Modi government with respect to the COVID-19 outbreak in the country. While criticizing the central government for its policies and implementation is something many are doing, what was wrong with this article was the way it was portrayed to the readers by the Times of India. Note viewers, an advertisement or a paid article was passed off as a news item by the Times of India. I hope the government will take notice and penalize them. Normally, advertisements have a starkly different appearance than regular articles and reports by the media house and its journalists. They have distinct borders. Ad is written somewhere on them to leave no doubts in the minds of the readers that it is an advertisement and not an editorial piece. Sometimes they write it's a promotional piece. There's a sponsor's insert included in the advertisement for which he has paid the newspaper. However, in this case, there was no way the reader could discern whether the article was a news story or a paid advertisement. To the untrained eye, it could have been a normal news article, which perhaps was the intention, but not for the newsbread Ashish Shukla. There was something wrong in the article. On closer inspection, Ashish found that the font of the paid advertisement was distinctly different from the one used for other articles. For Ashish, it was a giveaway that the article was a paid ad maligning PM Modi and not a genuine news story. This dishonesty was exposed by Ashish on his news portal, Newsbread. The paid article was a 2-column long piece extended till half the length of the page. An ad of this length normally costs around rupees 20 to 30 lakhs in Times of India. Besides the font, there were other subtle giveaways as well to make out that the article, which was portrayed to be a news story or an opinion piece, was in reality a paid ad. The article included words like you and your in double inverted commas. Furthermore, the article also carried the photo of the author next to it. Usually, opinion columns or exclusive reports publish the picture of the author with their reports, not advertisements. If this was not enough, it also came to light that the same writer, the same article verbatim was published on the leftist online rag, The Wire, on April 25th, 3 days before it was produced in the Times of India edition. So you see, they are all in this together. Even if one considers it to be the reproduction of the article first published on The Wire, the one published in the Times of India did not end with this opinion piece had first appeared in The Wire or courtesy The Wire. This is how paid media stoop to malign a strong leader like our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. Please write about this in social media or voice your opinion in our this thing as well, in our column as well. Meanwhile, as you know, Rohit Sardana's death has caused a lot of anguish to Many people, even people who have not known him only through the news channel, but everybody has expressed deep regret at the death of such a fine journalist. Now, netizens trend justice for Rohit Sardana. They claim that medical negligence was behind his death. BJP leaders have demanded an investigation. BJP leader and Dr. Richa Rajput lamented how a physically and mentally fit individual such as Rohit Sardana died within hours of hospitalization. A day after prominent journalist Rohit Sardana succumbed to the Wuhan coronavirus infection, netizens took to Twitter to demand an independent investigation into the circumstances leading to his death. Sardana tested positive for the coronavirus and suffered a heart attack on Friday morning. BJP spokesperson Tajinder Singh Bhagga tweeted, "Brothers Rohit Sardana was administered an injection which did not suit his body. No senior doctor was present at the time of his treatment. There needs to be a probe whether this is a case of medical negligence." BJP leader and Dr. Richa Rajput lamented how a physically and mentally fit individual such as Rohit Sardana died within hours of hospitalization. A mentally strong and fit person like Rohit Sardana with mild corona symptoms who never had heart attack and heart disease history died within few hours of hospitalization in ICU care in a super specialty hospital. Not justified. Justice for Rohit Sardana, she wrote. Another Twitter user named Tanmay requested the Yogi Adityanath government to constitute a sit led by DG rank officer to probe the death of Rohit Sardana. If required, CBI inquiry should also be recommended, he concluded. While the possibility of medical negligence cannot be ruled out in the untimely demise of prominent news anchor Rohit Sardana, research shows that chances of death are higher for a COVID-infected patient if he suffers a heart attack. Meanwhile, the latest in the Janhvi Kukreja murder case. Accused Diya changed her version, says the mother, pointing out contradictions in 19-year-old accused Diya Padankar's statements regarding her presence during the offense of murder of her childhood friend Janhvi Kukreja. On New Year's Eve, her mother has opposed her bail application. The deceased mother, Nidhi Kukreja, filed her written arguments before a session court on Thursday. She states that the falsity of Padalkar's case is reflected in her contradictory statements. She points out that at the time of opposing a custodial interrogation before a magistrate's court, Diya's advocate had told the court that she was present at the time of the incident and had tried to mediate or stop a fight between her co-accused and their common friend Sri Jogdankar and the deceased Janhvi. Thereafter, the applicant has completely changed her version and denied being present at the time of the incident and concocts the story of getting hurt on her lip by slipping. Janhvi's mother stated, and this was done to mislead the court. Janhvi's mother further stated in her arguments that statements of 15 children have been recorded who were present at the party and have been made witnesses. All these are known to her and are her friends or that of her family, and a few even live in her building, she said, and expressed the apprehension that there is a high possibility of Diya influencing them if out on bail. All the said witnesses are of tender age, vulnerable and capable of being compromised, she said. Diya had filed a plea through her advocate, Ashok Mishra, in which she said that the Khar police deliberately planted evidence to link her to the crime. The Khar police, in their reply to the plea, said that her claims in the plea do not match with the statements of the witnesses. The injuries, the police said, show that it was not a case of a minor scuffle, but a violent assault with the intention to cause death. On March 20th, in a 508-page charge sheet filed by the Khar police before a Bandra magistrate court in the Janhvi Kukreja murder case, a witness, the host of the party, has said that he had contacted Sri Jogdankar on learning about Janhvi's death, as Jogdankar was a good friend and had found it strange that Sri had no reaction, as though he was already aware of it, the death. The same witness, Yash Ahuja, also recounted in his statement how he found Diya Padalkar, co-accused with Jogdankar in the case, lying injured on his bed before he learnt about Janhvi's death. He, as well as other friends and witnesses present in the room, have said in their statements that Diya said she did not remember how she had sustained facial injuries and she had appeared very scared. But what I ask you viewers is that why is Yash Ahuja not being pulled up? Because the party was at his place. Why was he not pulled up for supplying drugs? Apparently, a drug peddler had come there and drugs and alcohol was being mixed. So I don't understand how they are not questioning Yash Ahuja. It's very some this case is so devious that it's very hard to understand. And Mumbai police is so fast to give a view that the case has been solved. In the SSR drug case, the court has asked NCB to send disputed drug sample to a lab to ascertain the weight. In the drugs case connected with the late actor Sushant Singh Rajput, a special court under the NDPS Act has directed the NCB to send a sample of blotting papers allegedly containing the drug LSD recovered from the accused Anuj Keshwani to a forensic lab to ascertain the weight of the drug in the sample. The court has ordered that the weight of the drug be ascertained, saw the blotting paper, and it be clarified whether the weight mentioned in the CA report included or excluded the blotting paper. It has also directed that the lab comply with the direction within 15 days of receiving its order. The NCB has claimed that 0.62 grams of LSD was recovered along with other drugs such as 585 grams charas, 270 grams marijuana, and 3.6 grams THC in the house search of Keshwani on 6 September last year. As per the NDPS Act, commercial quantity of LSD is considered to be 0.1 gram and the small quantity is 0.002 gram. In case of possession of commercial quantity of the drug, a provision of the Act comes into force that makes securing bail difficult. As per Section 37 of the NDPS Act, the court has to be satisfied that the accused is not guilty of the offence and is not likely to commit an offence when on bail. In December last year, the Bombay High Court had granted bail to a Thane resident who had held that the weight of the paper used to carry LSD drops cannot be counted while ascertaining the quantity of the contraband. Keshwani had stated in his plea through his advocate Trivan Kumar Karnani that 31 blotting papers were allegedly recovered from him, and the report from the lab stated that the presence of LSD is detected on the sample and that the weight of the sample is 0.62 grams. The plea pointed out that the report is silent on the weight of the LSD drops and contended that the weight of 0.62 grams is that of the blotting paper. The plea said the weight of the paper cannot be considered while deciding that the drug recovered amounts to commercial quantity. Keshwani's bail plea is pending before the court. The plea said that ascertaining the weight is important to decide his bail plea and to deal with the rigors of Section 37 of the Act. Advocate Karnani said the sample warrants retesting by separating the drug and the blotting paper, as the latter is only a neutral carrier of the substance. He called the forensic report flawed and said that Section 37 is wrongly invoked on Keshwani based on it. The NCP had opposed the plea, arguing that there is no provision under the law for retesting a drug sample at the instance of the accused. They are, so viewers, either by hanky-panky or not, they just want to get bail and get out of this situation. That's how it looks. Meanwhile, Shashank director he denies in Delhi High Court that his film is based on Sushant Singh Rajput. Director Sanoj Mishra submitted an affidavit in response to a suit filed by Rajput's father, Krishna Kishore Singh, who had sought restraint from anyone using his son's name and likeness for the purpose of any film. The film of defendant number 7, Mishra, Shashank, is totally based on portraying the struggles of outsiders in Bollywood. The theme and the story is based on 4 young boys. Defendant number 7 is also a great example of struggle as an outsider of Mumbai in Bollywood. The reply by Mishra read. He also said there's a lot of difference in the name of the movie Shashank and Sushant Singh Rajput. In the plea, Rajput's father mentioned names of some of the films which include Nyay, The Justice, Suicide or Murder, A Star Was Lost, Shashank, and one unnamed crowd-funded film. As per the suit, Nyay is scheduled to be released in June, while the shooting of Suicide or Murder, A Star Was Lost, and Shashank has commenced. The defendants, that is the filmmakers, taking advantage of the situation, have been trying to encash this opportunity for ulterior motives, the police said. The plaintiff, Singh, also sought damages over rupees 2 crores from the filmmakers for loss of reputation, mental trauma, and harassment to the Rajput family. Meanwhile, Anupam Kher's wife, Kiran Kher, despite being under the treatment for cancer, has allocated the sum of rupees 1 crore for immediate arrangement of ventilators. And Anupam Kher couldn't be prouder. The actor took to social media to share the official document signed by Kiran Kher and wished her a speedy recovery. Veteran actor Anupam Kher recently did a live session on his Instagram handle and interacted with his fans. During his Instagram live session, he updated the fans about his wife, actor and politician Kiran Kher's health, who is currently battling multiple myeloma, a type of cancer. During his live stream, when the actor was asked about Kiran's health, the actor said, "Kiran is improving. She's better, but the medicines of multiple myeloma have many side effects. She's in good spirits and hopefully she'll come out of it. If your prayers are with her, everything will be fine." Earlier in April, Anupam Kher shared that Kiran Kher had been diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is said to be a type of blood cancer. In multiple myeloma, abnormal plasma cells build up in the bone marrow and build up tumors in many bones of the body. He took to Twitter handle and wrote, "Just so that the rumors don't get the better of the situation, Sikandar and I would like to inform everyone that Kiran has been diagnosed with multiple myeloma. She's currently undergoing treatment and we are sure she'll come out with a stronger than before. We're very blessed that she's being looked after by a phenomenal set of doctors. She's always been a fighter and takes things head on." Later on, after receiving an enormous amount of good wishes and support from her fans, wishing for her speedy recovery, Anupam took to social media to thank all of them. That's all the news for now, friends. Let me have a look at your comments as well. Good evening, Leena. Welcome, Lakshman. Welcome, Lone Travel. Welcome, Dhruv. Thank you, Jess, for joining us. Thank you, Nidima, for joining. Thank you, Nancy Sur. Hello, Shilpa. Hello, Snigdha. Thank you. Wish you all the same as well. Hello, Mano. When will CBI file charge sheet against those murders? I don't know. Are you talking about Janhvi Kukreja or you're talking about Sushant? Michelle, hello, Michelle. Welcome. Good evening, Sushma. Thank you for joining. Hi from Mauritius. Sadak, welcome. Nancy Sur. Ma'am, I sent you a tweet yesterday night, some while after you were live. I don't know if you saw that tweet. If you can just give me your handle, Twitter handle, I'll follow you and have a look at it, Nancy Sur. Geeta, expecting 302 in SSRK soon. Where is CBI heading towards? Still waiting, Geeta, just like you, for some good news. Hello, Ushma. Welcome, always. Kohli, is it true that Adar Punawal ran away to UK and going to do production in UK going forward due to a threatening from very powerful people here? I don't think so, Kohli. That may be wrong news. I don't think he is that sort of person. He's done a lot. I'm sure he'll do much more for India. Sharmila, ma'am, honestly looks like every murder is in the hands and frenzy of the police and politics. Are we so helpless to punish them? Yeah, looks like the situation. This is how the situation is in Mumbai, and nobody seems to be bothered. Sharmila. Sushma, justice for Sushant. Yes, we are all waiting for justice for Sushant and Disha, and so many others. And sister, there is no news again of NCB challenging bail of Ria. It's completely forgotten. How come? We've been waiting for Samir Wankade to join us, but it looks like every day they are doing raids and arresting people. So with him being so busy, I don't know when he would be able to join us. Mano, any updates? None, none. I feel with the current COVID situation and election results, the agency has slowed down, hoping to see some action. So yes, Sharmila. And Siso, even though Sushant's justice tagline is trended daily, CBI is eerily silent and nowhere to be seen. This 14th, it will be 11 months. Absolutely. And Siso, by hook or crook, Bully VDs want to release movies of Sushant, despite Sushant's father having sent them notices through the family law. It's just like, they want to make a quick buck. It's very sad. Nancy, thanks for the thank you, Nancy. Gloria, welcome. Thanks for the updates. Welcome, Ushma. Good evening, Div. Good evening, Govinda. Thank you, Poonam, for joining. You're from USA. Welcome. Queen Sharma, good morning from Canada. Thank you so much, Queen Sharma. You have a beautiful name as well. Asha, welcome. Poonam, eagerly, yes, waiting for SSR case. Somehow, I think, the Mahavikas Agadi have using the ruse of the pandemic, hidden what's happening. Let us hope that, the NIA continues to work and expose and then, connects it to the SSR case as well. Nikhil, your view on Janhvi case looks like drug. Yes, absolutely, Nikhil. There seems something very shady in this. And so my Twitter handle is yes. I will after the show. I'll follow you, and then we can exchange messages. Manu, thanks, Manu. Sherry, thank you, Veena. I'm quite disheartened that I cannot relocate from Hong Kong to India anytime soon due to current no flight situation. Oh, well, are you based in Hong Kong or are you based in India? Do tell us, the progress. Asha, justice for Sushant, Disha and others. Boycott Bollywood movies. Yes, absolutely. Funny thing is, Asha, what I noticed was that just, when you, in between watching something on Netflix, you'll see flashes of Salman Khan's latest movie, which is going to be released, Radhe. And you'll see that, there's not even one wrinkle on his face. Can you imagine the amount of millions they would have spent on touching his face and his body? Hi, Nancy. So, okay, ma'am. I hope Samir Wangre, yes. We pray for that. Rekha, welcome. Sadhna Petkar, I believe in CBI and they will surely come out with the truth. Yeah, that's the kind of positive spirit we need, Sadhna. Gloria, Miranda, ma'am, it feels hopeful that you talk regularly and keep us updated and also keep the flame burning. Yeah, this is what I do, Gloria, because it's very difficult to get any news of, these people because everything is hidden. The mainstream media doesn't talk about it at all. They're not interested. They only convey the news that is, good for their owners. Sharmila, ma'am, can we do a session on elements like, yes, certainly, of Barkadat and the likes who are constantly spreading. Yes, it's very important. Asha, welcome, Asha. Senior citizen, as per, yes. Correct, ma'am. How Salman looks ugly. Sherry, I'm based in Hong Kong and want to retire. I'm sure it'll happen sometime, Sherry. Don't worry too much. Stella, welcome always, Stella. I like to hear from you. Dhruv, Bollywood boycott completely. Yes. That's all the news for today, friends. We'll join you tomorrow with something interesting. Please join me tomorrow. Good night.